Hi, my name's Andrew, and today I'm going to be discussing with you how to dress when static and cold weather. So, today it's about 30 degrees, not a lot of wind, and I'm static right now. So, that is where we start to combat the next type of heat loss, which is called radiant heat loss. So, let's look at what radiant heat is. Radiant heat, for an example, would be the sun. The sun warms the earth through radiant heat. So for us, we are creating heat and that is radiated off of it. So our best friend when it comes to fighting radiant heat loss is going to be the coats in the puffer family. So any of the down puffer coats, any of the synthetic puffer coats. Big difference between down and synthetic is that synthetic will not absorb water and it will still insulate when wet because the fibers are plastic and don't absorb water. Down, on the other hand, will get wet and compress and no longer insulate unless that down is treated with a hydrophobic treatment, which it will say on the label of the coat. Basically, they're waterproofing the down at the end of the day, is what fill power means. So when you buy a down coat or look at a down coat, you'll see that they usually have a tag on this part that says like 800 or 500 or 700 or whatever. This one doesn't, but I know North Face does, and a few others will do. Basically, what fill power equates to is going to be the quality of the insulation. That's the easiest way to explain it. Think of like R value for house insulation or sleeping pads or anything like that. That's how I look at it because, you know, you can have the same amount of down, different fill powers, and the coat's going to be totally different and which one's warmer or not. The 800 is going to be significantly warmer. So if you have a lower quality or a lower fill power down, I don't want to say lower quality, but lower fill power down, you will need significantly more of that down to equal the same amount of warmth that the 800 would. So not all down coats are created equally, but you know, hopefully that helps explain it to you on what you should be looking for. Now, synthetic insulation, while it also does work when wet, it also has some other factors to it. It's great for working into a clothing system so you're able to move moisture out because the threads that comprise the insulation do not absorb water, so the water evaporates faster, doesn't absorb as much because it only absorbs water into like the matrix of the threads, if you will. So that's one of the advantages of it. The disadvantages of synthetic is that it's not as compressible. You know, there's a variety of different types. You can get, you know, your basic Uniqlo brand one to, you know, Primaloft Gold or something made by Arc'teryx, and there is a noticeable difference in the quality of those fillings. And then you have what's called hybrid insulation coats. So this coat right here is an example of a hybrid insulation coat. It has 850 down in the chest area, upper arms, those areas, which are areas that you need heat and they're not prone to moisture. Areas that are prone to moisture would be the cuff area, the hood, and the underarm area in this coat, and those are synthetic insulation which deal with that better. So you get the kind of the best of both worlds with a hybrid coat. They are quite pricey. This is probably the cheapest one that I've been able to see on the market, and it's not bad. It adds a waterproof outer coat. It's really one of those coats that you can use as the one coat to kind of do it all in cold weather. You know, you grab it from the house in non-technical, non-outdoorsy type environments. Obviously, you don't just want to bring this one coat if you're actually like doing something outside, but if you're in the city, like, yeah, this coat works fine. And then basically you'll start to see a theme in this where I've got, you know, a soft shell layer. That is my action suit, as I called it, or, you know, it's just a soft shell. This one's from Hill People here. Then I've got the Mountain Hardwear Air Mesh hoodie. Talked about it in an earlier video. Basically, it's the same type of material as like it's called Air Mesh, but then there's also Polartec Alpha Direct. There is other brands are making it. It's the John G shirt that I've had in the previous video. Those are the same type of material. And for me, they work the same way and the same thing. Are some better than others? Yeah, but I'm using it in a specific way. And then I've got just on a normal base layer, all right, because I'm static. I could throw on other stuff. I could throw on my Patagonia Houdini hoodie if I wanted to, you know, throw it in between my actual base layer and this micro fleece shirt. Could do that. Nah, it's not cold enough for that. And honestly, it's not even really cold enough for this coat right now.